Hi, girlies. Welcome to Book Please Podcast. It's Alina here.
Hi guys, it's Amanda.
I just want to say shout out to my lips today for being a trooper because I got this plumping gloss that just came right
Is that the next
before.
one?
No, it's not the NYX
Oh,
one. If you guys know
I was
the
gonna order it.
viral duck
Duck.
plump
Yeah.
lip gloss, whatever from NYX is like just looks amazing. But who knows? Like, you know, those people on TikTok are liars. However, I've had this plumping gloss before. It's my favorite, and I lost it, and it just arrived. And literally right before I hopped on here, and my lips are on absolute fire, like the torch.
Can I guess?
Yeah, I don't
Is it
know
the
that
Tarte one?
No.
No. Oh, then I
No.
don't know. Those are like the new
It's the
things that I know
Too Faced.
about.
It's the Too Faced lip injection. It's supposed to be like a very, very good one.
Oh,
It's like almost $30
that's just
for
old.
this damn thing. Yeah, it's old,
Yeah,
but
that
it's like
thing's
a
old.
classic.
Yeah.
I love this. I
Oh yeah,
didn't
it's
say
an OG.
like it was a brand new thing out
I'm
there.
thinking it's something new.
No, girl. But I just have to say, like,
It's an
the
OG.
shit that we do, like, Mama's got natural lips, okay? So I need a little something sometimes. I mean, thank you, Mom, for these lips. Like, love them. But I need a little something sometimes. And, you know, when you first put it on, you're like, I'm absolutely dead. But if I don't feel that, like, complete burn and tingle, I'm like, it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
I do like the tingles. It's so funny. I have the Tarte one, the new plumping one that they have. And whenever I kiss my boyfriend, he's like, "Is it that tingly thing? Like, don't kiss me if you have that tingling thing on."
Yeah, I sometimes wonder, I'm like, can they feel, because I feel like it wears off after a moment, but I don't know. Maybe we just get like numb to it. And you know, if I wear it a few days in a row, then I'm like, I've broken it in and my lips are used to it. And they're like, oh, this is nothing. But the first time I'm like, I'm on absolute fire right now. Absolute fire. And can I just say, when the guy came to my door, nothing is more exciting to me than getting a package, okay? But these men that come to the door to deliver the package, I don't know if it's just my guys or what, but they are like banging on the door like bloody murder. Like, what are you doing? First of all, my dog was traumatized. Like, you're scaring the baby. Like, they're banging on the door like someone's dying. And I'm like, can you just relax? Just knock and go. We don't need to like shake the whole apartment.
I don't ever get anyone that knocks because I tell them on my directions, leave it outside. I don't
Me
want to deal with
too.
people at all.
This is not, hello, this is a no contact delivery, ma'am. It is not, you are not, I'm not opening the
Exactly.
door, but they're
When
still.
Uber Eats drops off my food, I'm like, nope. If they knock, I'm just like, directions say leave out front. I'm not coming to the door.
No, I don't go to the door, girl, but I'm just saying, why are they
Yeah.
knocking like this? It's insanity. And when I'm working from
We got to
home,
get you a low floor mat. Knock lightly.
don't fucking knock. Just don't. When I'm working, they're like banging on the door like there's a fire outside. And my poor dog too. Like, hello, what are you doing?
All that matters is it came.
It came. And now I have
It's
no
okay.
feeling in my lips.
Well, they look great.
Thank you, babe. We're fresh off of Oscars weekend. So much to unpack here. I mean, I know your favorite thing is probably not a red carpet, but you've seen a lot more of these movies than I have.
To disclose, I don't watch the Oscars. I did not watch it. I did Google or saw like, what people were wearing and the nominees and who won and all that stuff, but I will disclose that I do not watch it. But I know you do.
So my thing is like, I grew up watching the carpet. Like, it was a family affair, especially with my mom. It's part of I grew up saying like, I want to be like a Juliana Rancic. Like, it's part of the reason I got into journalism, entertainment news. Like, that's my life. It's my bread and butter. I'm obsessed with it. But yeah, when they first started, Vanessa Hudgens came out on the carpet with a baby bump. So that was like my first impression of the night. She's pregnant. She had a big reveal. She looked so cute.
So happy for her.
Did you see her after party look though? She wore this beautiful like black
Oh yeah, the
velour gown
share.
on the carpet.
Hmm.
She was having so much fun. She looked amazing. And then I saw like what she wore to the after party and I was like, honestly, I was like more power to you, but homegirl. She wore like a completely sheer nothing. She was basically
Yeah.
completely naked in her after
I would
party
wear
look.
that to like my like maternity shoot. Like that's about
Right.
it.
And even in your maternity shoot, you're kind of like turned to the side or you're strategically like placed. Like she was just like, these are my undies, here's my belly piercing, and then like everything was
And just imagine when that kid grows up. My mom looked
out.
hot with me in that stomach.
She was, what is your like take on that though? Like, what did you think about it?
I honestly think to each their own. It's nothing we haven't seen. We've seen people like I won't name who, dress a little crazy, but I feel like if you got it, flaunt it. Good for her. I mean, I know some people, of course, the belly. I mean, my belly piercing, I took out like probably after like college. So seeing someone still have a belly piercing, but it kind of gave a little sparkle to the sheer outfit, so I wasn't upset about it. What'd you
Okay.
think?
I have a belly piercing, so complete offense.
Judging.
I have no issue with them. For me, I feel skinnier when I have my belly button pierced, so that's why I have it. But I'm not gonna have a belly button piercing in when I'm pregnant. And also,
You
don't
may
they
now.
like?
You may.
No, girl. I think they
The
have like
trend.
a thing of that, like there's something that you're supposed to put in the hole too if you're like trying to keep it, which I'm not going to do. But there's something that people like put in the belly button piercing. It's like a weird tube. So it doesn't like stretch too much and like it's like a whole thing. Like I'm surprised she can even
Mm-hmm.
how do you even keep it in? I'm just so confused by that.
Maybe she did just for the night, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know, but like how I have
Or
no
it could be
idea.
fake. It could be like little
The
clamp. Who knows?
logistics are just blowing my mind. It probably was fake. One of my favorite, my best dressed on the carpet, like a look I
Are we
would
gonna say the same person?
obsess with and would wear was Becky G. Like
Oh,
beyond.
Becky G.
Her
Okay. Now
outfit
I gotta
was
look it up.
beyond. And it's something I literally, it was custom, it was stunning, it was something I
Oh,
5,000% would
beautiful.
wear. I thought she looked
Mm-hmm.
amazing, her hair looked amazing, she performed, she had an amazing outfit on for her performance as well, although
Mm-hmm.
she performed a song with kids, so I was like, the half naked look for the kid performance was a little much, but
If
she
they
looked
TikTok,
fire.
they already see it. So to comment on yours, Becky G, beautiful. She looked beautiful. I think you can't go wrong in a dress like that. I think anyone could wear it. It's super pretty. For me, my best Zendaya, I thought looked beautiful. I love the colors she had. It was like elegant, but also like Oscar worthy. Like I felt like it was very, very pretty. Oh, she looks so good.
Zendaya never misses. She never
Never. Hmm.
misses. I have never seen one look of hers that I didn't absolutely love. Not just like
Oh,
absolutely love. Shout out to her
hmm.
stylist. Shout out to her. Beyond
The whole
amazing.
look, the hair, jewelry, like oh, beautiful.
I was blown away as always by her. For me, the absolute worst dressed ever on the carpet was Hunter Schafer. Disgrace. She wore this little feather as a top and it was absolutely disgusting. I could not even look at her. I'm over that shit. Like it's too much. It's just gone way too
I
far. You're embarrassing. How are you standing in front of people looking at people in that getup? Like no one's taking you seriously. It wasn't like sexy and a lot and made a statement. To me, I was like, I'm gonna vomit. You're gross. Like that's all I have to say about you. Like, I'm
Oh, that's
sorry.
great. So for
I mean,
me,
did you see the
w-
outfit? You have nothing to say about
yes, I
it?
did. No, I agree with you. Yeah, no, it's.
Like,
Oh, I love you.
hello? She's
I
like,
feel like
oh,
you
let me
said it
put a
all.
feather on my titties and go to the Oscars.
It doesn't surprise me, honestly. I feel like it kind of, like you can
It's the
tell
Oscars.
how
It's not the
someone
MTV
would
Awards.
dress.
She's like, it's couture.
Listen,
It's
maybe it's not her
couture.
fault. Maybe it's her stylist's fault. But listen, we're talking about it, aren't we? So she knew who she was doing, so she
Blech.
talked about.
Okay, you go ahead.
So my least favorite. Sorry, I know you love her, but Ariana's was just not doing it for me. I think she looked like a uterus. It's just
Ariana looked
like
so
I,
pretty.
I don't know if that was supposed to be like a bow. Like it just looked like
Her outfit is an ode to Wicked. It's supposed to be like she's there presenting
they could have
with
tanned her
her
at least because
co-star, right? Like she's there with her co-star in honor of Wicked, a big, big movie coming up next year. They have her presenting, they're doing promo for Wicked. So her and Cynthia Erivo, who both play Glinda the Good Witch, and then Cynthia plays the Bad
I
Witch
love
in
Wicked.
Wicked. So they're pink and green, like they came very on theme and elaborate and over the top. And
And
I thought
still
her dress
ugly.
made a beautiful statement. The fried hair, though,
What?
girl, it's got to go.
Everything. I feel like if they maybe if they would have tanned
Everyone
her, if
loved
they
her
would have gave her a different hair
dress.
color. Oh,
It's
then
her
it must just be
hair.
me.
It's her hair. She
I just it's
has
not doing it for
lost
me. It
it.
has like no layers. I don't know. It's just it literally looks like and it's maybe it's because she's so pale and that pink color just doesn't I don't know, like this color would look great on someone that was tan or like a little darker, but I don't know. She just didn't do it for
I
me.
think it
I
was the
expected more.
hair. I think it was the hair. She's lost it. Like, I think she should have learned her lesson from back in Nickelodeon when she had to keep frying and bleaching her hair to get that red in there. They
Yeah.
kept over processing her hair to the point where she had to continue to wear fake hair, continue to do ponytails. That's why she was like a half up or ponytail girl for so many years because
They have
she
wigs.
fried her hair off. That's what I want to say. How did you not learn your lesson? At this point, you're Ariana Grande. You go to Wicked and you say, I need a blonde fire wig to play Glinda the Good Witch. I'm not bleaching my hair off. What were those two little
Mhm.
things like sticking out of the front of her head? What was she doing? That's what made her outfit look bad. Her dress looked good. Her jewelry was to die for. And then also, she's not a tan, so the blonde really washed her out even further. It was just a mess. Like she did SNL over the weekend and she looked beautiful and she wore a stunning wig and that's just what she should have done for the Oscars.
Tell me you like Ariana without telling me you like Ariana.
The hair was giving quinceanera, the curls. No, listen, I love Ariana.
I
And
know
I
you
but I
do.
can't I'm never gonna be somebody that's like, I'm gonna back everything somebody does. Like I
No,
didn't like
100%.
her
I would
hair is,
if you did. Mhm.
and there's a lot of choices that I'm questioning of hers now. So,
Yeah. I mean, Hunter looked crazy, but her body was on point.
ugh,
At least
disgusting.
she
Please.
body was snatched.
There's no, her body was, can we talk about this? Every person, like everyone is getting skinnier and skinnier in Hollywood. It's giving Ozempic.
Mm,
It's getting
mm.
it's going way too far. Enough.
We're not
Like,
saying Hunter's on Ozempic, by the way. She's just a very
no,
thin girl.
no, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just
But in
saying
general, I know what you mean. I've noticed it. Yeah, everyone I've seen is like super, super, and I'm just like, oof.
it makes
Like
me
I don't know
roll
if
my
it's like
eyes.
healthy. Yeah, it's not something I look at and I'm just like I'm not that it looks bad, but for me, I just like even though
No, it
I wish I
doesn't
was
look
thicker,
good. Like
but like
half
yeah,
these people are
yeah.
already so small, it looks unhealthy.
Mhm.
Everybody stop, drop, and eat. Like, let's go. Let it
Stop,
go.
drop, and eat.
There's no need, if you're doing healthy weight loss, great, good for you. I'm not saying, and Ozempic is great for people who need it, but half of y'all don't need it,
Mm-hmm.
and y'all need to stop.
Mm-hmm.
It's enough. It's
So
giving,
funny.
it's giving like homeless. So, the Oscars last night. Let's talk about some key moments. Shall we start with John Cena?
Sure.
Shall we
Weirdo. He's a
come in hot
weirdo.
with John Cena? So 50 years ago, there was apparently a nude streaker on the Oscars, and Jimmy Kimmel was the host last night. He was making a joke about, oh, it's the anniversary of however many years ago when a nudist like ran across the Oscar stage, and they played a little clip, and it was funny. And so he made like some kind of gesture, like a joke, like, wouldn't it be crazy if a naked man ran across the stage now? And he said it a few times, and then you see a half naked, like John Cena, like popping his head out, and then he comes out like basically completely naked with like an envelope covering his privates. I was absolutely dead. Also, Margot Robbie's reaction had me weak because she was Homegirl was taken aback. She was having a little moment
Mm.
over there, peeping at John
She's
Cena.
like, "Is this what they do in America?" No.
Honestly, she was flustered. I love that they cut to her. I was like, "Oh, girl, you were caught in action."
For me, it was his sandals. Like I couldn't stop looking at his shoes. I was just like, "What is on your feet?"
So, as you know, Amanda didn't, she's not going to watch the Oscars, but she's going to check out the highlights. So, like, my job here is to be like, as a friend, to be like, these are the main things you need to know about the Oscars. Sent her a John Cena clip. She goes, "What are on his feet?" And I'm like, who the fuck was looking at his feet? Like, there was so much happening. You couldn't pay me to tell you what was on his feet. There's a whole ass naked man, a
Listen,
giant
for
naked
me,
man.
it's because we work out a lot. I'm always at the gym. I'm seeing a lot of
She's
those
like, I've
at the
seen
gym.
this
So like it
before.
didn't yes, so it doesn't surprise me to see, and John Cena too. Who hasn't seen John Cena's abs?
Yeah, no, I wasn't like, oh my God, it's John Cena, but like there was just a lot
Yeah.
happening that I wasn't looking at his
Yeah.
feet. But yeah,
Yeah, no,
they
it's
were like Birkenstocks or something normal. Like it wasn't like that weird.
you
It
said
was
normal. You might
like
as well wear
Birkenstocks
Crocs.
are something people wear. I don't, but people wear them.
I don't, but people wear them. Yeah, yeah. My
So
dad, shout out dad.
just shout out dad. Yes. So I think they could have, it would have been, I think it's appropriate that it was John Cena because I know you were like, I wish it was somebody hotter. I think
I know that was
only
my
John
first thing.
Cena would do this. So it was
Yeah.
funny, but all I was thinking about, honestly, the whole time I was like, is Nikki Bella watching? Like that's all I was thinking about. Which
He's
thank
like, been
God she
there, had
wasn't.
that.
Literally. And that is definitely the attitude she would have. But
Yeah.
oh my God, he is such a weirdo in real life. And like just the dynamics of their relationship, he is the most bizarre. And the way that he is with like his house, and he's so very OCD, but like beyond OCD, it's like some weird other thing. Like just the way that he is with so many things. If you know, you know. Like if you watched them together on their reality show, like something was not right. And Nikki
Yeah, he's a little dry for me too,
did
his
well
personality.
to leave. He's what?
His personality is a little dry for me.
Yeah, there's something
From like watching
off.
the show is just not he's not I want to like poke him like, are you there?
It's no, really, it's odd for me because you see him in these scenarios and you're like, he's funny and he makes these jokes and he seems relatable. And then you like pull back the veil and you see him like in a relationship or in real life, like in his home, and you're like, wow, this guy is the weirdest person I've ever seen. Like
Right.
he's just bizarre.
Like some dry chicken, no seasoning.
He's very interesting. So one of my highlights of the show was, I will say, like, I loved Ryan Gosling's performance.
Saw that
He
coming.
was just, I feel like he's saying, I'm just Ken. And I feel like his performance just broke up the night. Like sometimes he can just drag her. It's so serious. And he like started off in the audience sitting by Margot Robbie, who played Barbie in the movie, and like singing with her, and she's laughing. They're all having a good time. Like it felt like a party. Like it was kind of like, oh, everything's like a little bit like mechanical and robotic. And it just like broke up the seriousness of the night. And
Mhm.
Slash was came out as one of the guitarists from Guns N' Roses. All the Kens from the movie turned up on stage. Like everyone was just having a
Mhm.
time. Like he got a standing ovation. I felt like it was just so fun. Like it was just light and fun.
Mhm.
And it was, I don't know, I had chills watching it. It really was nice.
Aw.
Barbie didn't do well as far as nominations.
Oh yes, let's talk about that.
They won one
You
out
did
of
see
their
Barbie.
So yeah, so we saw Barbie together. Barbie won
Mhm.
one out of its 8 nominations, and it was for original song, which was Billie Eilish's "What Was I Made For," which I love that song. She performed. She performed very well. She's the youngest to have at how old is
She
she?
won two.
Yes.
22. I want to say
Is
she is.
she? I was gonna say that, but then I was like, that is
Uh,
way too young for her. I don't know why I had that number in
um,
my head as well, but she's the
no,
youngest
I think it is. Yeah,
to
22.
win.
Hmm.
Wow. I'm actually
She was
shocked by
born in
that.
'01. Ugh,
I'm absolutely
'01.
That's why I was about to say it, and then I was like, "This can't be right," but it is. She's the youngest to ever have won 2 awards, so that's
Mhm.
amazing. She killed it.
Good for her.
Her performance was great, but I was really rooting for America Ferrera, who was another one of my best dressed. Actually,
Yeah,
like, not even Becky G, it had to have been America Ferrera. She wore her Barbie pink. She was
beautiful.
snatched
Mhm.
to the gods, looking absolutely amazing. And I really thought she was going to win for Best Supporting Actress. She did not. I mean, her category was a big one. There were a lot of great nominees, so I understand that.
Mhm.
But I thought maybe because, Margot didn't get her Best Actress nomination. Greta Gerwig didn't get Best Director. Like, I thought at least America was going to get her. I thought it was like, okay, well, this is where the award goes for the night for Barbie.
Mhm.
And it was a big miss. It was a flop for them at the Oscars.
I personally think all the movies as a whole, I personally didn't like.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw most of them, including Barbie.
You saw
I'm a
Oppenheimer, right?
huge I did. When I say I saw, like I tried and I just couldn't get through it. And everyone raves about it. So I was like, it has to be good. And then I tried like 2 or 3 times, sit down and watch it, and it just didn't work out for me. But I think also the storyline is not something that intrigues me. So I don't want to knock the film as a whole, but it's not a storyline I would go to.
Yeah, I mean,
So I feel like that's
Oppenheimer
kind of
swept at the Oscars. It was beyond.
hmm
It was like
hmm
just Oppenheimer the whole night. But I will say, I
literally.
think a lot of times these things are just sometimes the movies that are like, I didn't even see this film, which I really actually want to, but I find that a
Mhm.
lot of these films, maybe not Oppenheimer, but maybe like Poor Things and other ones, like they're just a lot deeper and more complex. They're layered and they win for other reasons than just like a movie that you kick back and watch and just enjoy on your couch. Like there's
hmm
deeper elements to why these films are nominated. And
hmm
sometimes it's not like those movies that you're like, oh, I love this. Like there's that other layer to them. And it reminds me, it's so funny when Amanda and I posted a clip of us talking about not liking Saltburn, someone came at us and was like, "Well, if you don't like this, like you just don't like it's art." And he was like, "You don't like actual film and cinematography." He was like, "You should just stick to watching like Disney movies and fluff. Like we're not like educated people and can't understand that like this may have been artistic."
Yeah. I mean, I feel like too, like it's not even I feel like it's not even that, like, we all have different tastes. Like, even
Yes.
when it comes to these, like, when Emma Stone won for, actress in a leading role, I can understand why she won that. She had to play a really difficult part in Poor Things, like, that's not easy to do. So I think she deserved to win that, but did I like the movie? No, I didn't care for the movie at all, but I think her acting was great, but I personally just didn't care for the film, so I don't think it
Yeah.
doesn't mean that we don't know good films.
For sure. I thought that was just so funny because it's like, yes, I understand. Thank you for mansplaining. And I also thought, and what we said about Saltburn, it was beautifully directed. I won't knock
Yes.
that it was like visually beautiful. And just little cut, like just the choices that the director made, even with like the wheel of the bicycle, certain shots, like that mansion was crazy for like just the most beautiful shots, the way they're in the pool and they pull back,
Mhm.
stunning. Like it's chill worthy. But
Yeah.
like some of those for me, I'm like, it's not just like, oh, you're so cool that you think sucking semen out of a drain is art. Like for
Or
me, you
sleeping,
could do
like
other things and
or
that's still going to be art. Like we don't have to
I,
like
like,
that.
can't yeah, or even when he's, thrusting the dirt, when someone
Yes.
I'm just like, "What is going on?" It's just very sick, I think. It's very, like,
Yes.
sick to think of things like that. It's not
It's like
even normal,
it's
like, the
giving human
drain thing,
centipede.
whatever.
Like it's not art at
Yeah,
that
like, I just
point.
can't. Yeah. Yeah.
No. No,
I
no,
yeah.
no.
The other film that got a lot of attention was The Holdovers. That was something I did see as well too, and, same thing, like, I get why it's like so popular, like with the directing and the acting, but the storyline for me also didn't do it. Like the storyline, I was just like, okay, I get it. Like these kids didn't go home for, Christmas, and they're spending the holidays at a, sleepaway school, and this teacher's there, like with, like it just didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
My opinion.
Mm. Back when we were talking about Emma Stone, though, her award, which, as you say, was rightfully earned, just by, even if you didn't like the film, like she had an outstanding performance. She's having this big moment, and it was so relatable. She is like, she just wins an Oscar, and it's at that moment where she's going up for her big, this is like one of the top honors of the night. It was one of the most highly anticipated, like tightly contested nominations with a great category. There was that also that Native American actress who was up for her role, and she would have been the first Native American recipient. Emma Stone was so relatable at that moment because it's like you're going up on stage and she's like, yeah, my dress is ripped. Like, she's like, I think I ripped it during I'm Just Ken, which literally, because everyone was like dancing, having the best time, but that was just before she got the award. And of course, that timing did not work out in her favor. And she's like walking off and she's like, don't look, don't look. Like, I was dying because if ever I win a damn Oscar, that's going to be me. It's giving Jennifer Lawrence. Like, it was just so funny. And so, I mean, she had an
Jennifer
amazing
Lawrence is
speech. She spoke
funny.
about her daughter. Like, let's not forget all that. But it was just, I was like, oh, girl.
Oh, she's so human.
So that was definitely a fun watch overall, but I mean, not having seen Oppenheimer, I feel like I really like missed out on a lot, so I'm gonna have to watch it. It also like put a lot of movies on my list. It was a good night. Always enjoy watching an award show. So that was a good one. And then the other part of our week was spent reading our latest book, The Way I Hate Him by Meghan Quinn. We read chapters 1 through 7.
And I want to say I usually do audio, but I'm actually reading it. So this is new for me since I haven't read
Everybody
in a
can
while.
applaud Amanda. You know what's so funny? I have to give a disclaimer. This is a book that needs to be read and not listened to. And I was busy this weekend, so I was like trying to run errands and I was playing it and I was trying my best to enjoy it on Audible, and it proved to be a horrible experience for me. There's a lot of when I listen to a book, if it's a female speaking, I don't feel it's not as bad. It's not as hard for me to get into. And I don't know if it's like the voice in my head, like as I read or what, but there was a lot of chapters that were in the male voice to represent Hayes and Matt. And it took me out of the story so much, and it makes all the
Mm.
smut content creepy. It makes all those scenes so very creepy. I cannot, and I never will listen to an audiobook read by a male. It makes it so uncomfortable. It's not, and like there's weird like stresses on words, and he's like, ooh, her legs. Like I'm like, it's skeevy and it gives me the chills, and I cannot enjoy an audiobook read by a man like that, especially for those types
Okay,
of scenes.
I just want to say, as an audio girl, I could tell this book would not have been good if I was listening to it. So I can already tell. But I always suggest sampling it too. Like you can sample it on Amazon and see what they sound like. So
Yeah,
for example, Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, it's a hefty book. I had to get the audio, and I thought the audio was fine. There was times when the dragons were talking, I was like, eh. But for something like this, I feel like, like you said, for it being like a smart book, I want to like picture it myself. I don't want to put a voice to
it
a,
was
person.
terrible.
Mhm.
It was terrible.
Oh.
But I
And it's an easy
agree
read.
with you that I listened to some of Fourth Wing when I needed to catch up,
Mhm,
and it was the right type of book for it. The guy did sound
mhm,
like the character for Zayden, which I didn't like that voice for Zayden anyways.
mhm,
It's just not at all what I would picture, or how they like exclaim things when there's like a moment with any type of emotion. It's too
mhm.
much for me. I cannot listen to a man read me a damn book, and that's it. Like
You're right.
it's not
There's
gonna
no
happen.
man voice I've ever heard in audio that I liked. There
The
never. ever.
Yes, I can do a woman. I can definitely like listen to a woman read, and you know what? I can't help it. Women are just, in most areas better than men, and that's just
And
what
we can
it
listen
is.
better to women.
Yeah, and like I can't like I don't know. It's just it takes me out of it. Like a guy trying to be sexy reading this book for
Hmm.
me, I could throw up. I had chills, my teeth hurt. I was like, ugh. So yeah, I'll get over it.
And there was a lot of that in this book too. There was a lot of
Yes.
scenes that I was just like,
Yes.
oof. Just hearing him say that, I'm like, oof.
It was a lot. It was a lot, and for me, it was cringe, so that's the problem. So now I almost wanna go
Oh,
back and try and just read it myself, and I might.
I'm on cloud nine.
I think I'm gonna do that for next week because I don't like it.
You already
So,
associated a voice to it though.
no, but I no, it's not true because I went back and I started to read a chapter, and I was like, "Wow, it's so much better." So,
Yeah.
I actually have no like, it's not gonna affect me if I go back. So that's what I'm doing.
I'm excited to dive deep on this one. I feel like even though we read the first 7 chapters, it was a lot. Like we learned a lot, unpacked a
Yeah,
lot.
for sure. I will say when I began the book and we start reading and we're learning about, you just get this dynamic of Hattie, the main character, and she's talking about Matt, her at the time, her boyfriend, who's coming back from tour, who's an assistant to a musician. And he obviously sounds like the biggest POS of life. And I'm not even kidding, Amanda. I was so nervous that this was going to eventually be the guy that we were supposed to like. And she was going to be like, no, but people don't get it because of the book title being The Way
Mm.
I Hate Him. So I was like, is this the guy? Because I was sitting there about to be like, we got to abort and pick a new book because I'm not sitting here listening to a chick trying to justify red flags the entire book.
Really, I feel like the first chapter you read is Hayes like perspective. So it's like him coming off tour. Like the first part's like super intimate. So you hear how he's like coming out off a tour. He was spending time with a girl, and then his manager walks in and says to get rid of the girl. So I saw it as I was like, oh, this is going to be the guy. That's I first pictured because it starts off talking about Hayes, him and his like career and his
Yeah.
being a musician. So I was like, oh, this is definitely. And then when she was going home and she had a boyfriend, I was
See,
like,
this is why,
okay.
because when I listened, it doesn't
Mm.
say Hayes. You just hear a
Oh,
guy. So I didn't
because
know
it
that was
starts
Hayes.
off with the prologue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you
Oh,
see,
okay.
this is why I will never do this again. Sorry, guys. I'll never do this.
Oh,
I literally am
no, it's okay.
scarred.
Yeah.
I'm scarred.
No,
Um, No,
it's
I
okay.
literally was nervous because she was like, "No, like he only forgot my birthday because this. Oh no." I'm like, "Oh girl,
I
like,
couldn't read it if it was like that. Yeah.
oh."
Mm, mm,
I was
mm.
reading it and I was like, "Girl, get away." And then thank
But you get the
God that
title
she
now
passed.
because we find out her whole family doesn't like Hayes.
Yes, exactly.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
Now,
Hmm.
obviously, I understand.
Good.
So, let's get into this.
So when I first started reading this, I was like, okay, musician coming home to his hometown. Then we learn about Hattie, who dropped out of her last semester, which she failed out of her last semester, which I'm assuming is because of her sister's death. So her sister just
Yes.
passed away. She died of breast cancer. So of course, if you're at school, you can't really focus. So she's not doing too great. So has to come back home where her boyfriend lives and her family. And then we find out that her boyfriend breaks up with her, which I was for the better. Knowing that her sister didn't like him, like none of them really liked him. Even
At
Mackenzie
all.
was like, "We didn't like him anyway, so we're
Yes.
happy you guys broke up." So that was good to unfold.
I was I was just like, the thing about her family completely not understanding her, like she felt that they wouldn't be able to understand her dropping out of, or not dropping out of school, but failing the last semester. It's an unbelievable loss. And how it just felt like I wish she could just say something. And it was a little like silly. Like they were just like an internship. Oh, okay. Like you have no idea where she's going. Like no one's asking. And they almost kept like blowing her off. Like she did have a moment too where she's like, no one really, like she starts to realize like no one's really confiding in her about real stuff. They're like, just go to school, just focus on school. And she's like, hello, I'm a
Mhm.
human being. I have to unravel all these feelings. I have shit going on. My mind isn't here. Like, no one's like really paying too much attention to her to really like unfold what's happening to her, like to the point where how
Mhm.
did you not ask her, like yes you asked where she was interning, but you just left it at that. Oh, okay, media internship. Like, what? Okay, go to school. It's
Yeah.
just like, I love her friendship with her friend, with her
Maggie.
bestie,
Yeah.
Maggie. And
She's
I
awesome.
think they're so cute. They're like us. Even like the conversations where they're like, oh, your nipples and my nipple. I'm like, yes. And the
Yeah.
way that at the end, she's like, I need you to come home. She's like, girl, say less. Like, I'm coming home. Like,
Mhm.
I love their friendship. And I feel like and she's the one that Hattie can confide in. I really like this
Mhm.
character. I like their dynamic together, and she really needs her.
Mhm. So for the family part, I feel like we never agree on some things, which is fine. But I understand like she was closer to Cassidy, obviously, the sister that passed
Yeah.
away. And their bond was so different. But also, like, if she never was that close to Rylan or Aubrey, like, I don't know what she expects drastically to change. Like, they lost a sister too. They're grieving in their own way. And she has Hayes now. She has Maggie. And I think there's more going on that she doesn't know about. Like, like half of the
Yes.
farm belongs to her sister's brother-in-law. So Rylan just, took in Mackenzie. So I think she needs to like chill and just like, like I know she's in school. They just want her to like, who I thought even maybe they're pushing the school thing because maybe there's like a clause in the will, like once she gets her master's, I want her to run the store. Like maybe there's something involved with the schooling
Yes.
that, they
I
need her to
keep
come back
waiting
to.
for there to be something too, because
Hmm.
I don't think that her sister would just blow her off in that regard, especially knowing like this was their dream together. So I do think
Exactly.
there's more
Hmm.
there for sure. Yes. And
Hmm.
that probably is the missing piece, is that it's like in the will that she has to like get her degree or something,
Hmm.
or upon
I do feel bad how
graduation.
they treat her too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Yes.
like
I
even
feel like
her
there's
own
something
mom.
more.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, but it also seems like they care so much about appearances, like the way that this, like that small knit town. So that could also play a
I
role in it.
need to know why him and Rylan don't speak anymore. Like the whole time I'm trying to guess while I'm reading it. I'm like, is it over a girl? Did, he come up with him in this music career and then he like left him in the dust? Did he write a song that he stole? Like I need to
Yeah.
know.
I know. I was thinking the same thing. And it seems to me like they were probably all best friends, like Rylan, Hayes,
Yep, all
and
three of them.
Abel
The three
were,
musketeers they called them.
yes, because
Hmm.
Hayes is still, I mean, not Hayes, Abel is still in the middle of the
Abel.
two besties. So
That's why I think
that's
it
such an
can't be that
interesting
bad.
dynamic.
Yeah.
I know. And even Hayes had said to Hattie at one point, like, ask your brother why. And
Like
so if you're
he's the
that
reason.
confident
Yeah.
to be like, well, go, why don't you ask him what happened?
Yeah, I think Hayes is the good guy.
I do
Hmm.
for sure. Like, what do you think of him? Let's unpack. What do you think of their dynamic?
Honestly, he's just like every other bad boy in every book I've read, every movie I watch, like,
Yes.
don't fall in love with me. I'm so toxic, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. And then, of course, he's going to fall for her. When he got her the pickles, he
Yeah.
had a little bit of a heart. So I think he's like, wants to be an asshole, but he's not. And he's
Yeah.
going to try and push her away, but she's not going to allow it. And then they're going to fall in love. And that's inevitable. Rylan is going to find out one day. Abel already
Yeah.
knows. It's going to unfold. And then I feel like I hate that we have to wait so long to find out what happened between that. So I feel like
Yeah.
that's going to be a while.
I feel
Ugh.
like, I don't know. Again, I think I had a bit more of a sour taste from hearing it, but the book gave me a bit of an eye roll because it was a little like, I just, after hearing people just rave about it, it just feels so typical. I'm a little like, I felt like also the sexual tension and the smut type of stuff started way too early on before they developed anything for us to like any of these characters or form relationships with them. I think it felt
Mhm.
too soon, and maybe that's also because like I was put off by listening to it. But normally
Mhm.
when I'm reading these types of things, I'm like, I can't get enough and I'm turning the pages. I want to see what happens. And like, I was just like, ugh, already? Like you don't even, and you just like hired this girl and you're like, it was giving creepy, like the way that this guy was like, I'm
Yeah.
peeking through the door. Like I have to read it because this man talking
Yeah.
was a little bit creepy.
It's funny that you say it because 'cause you're listening to it, but reading it, I don't think it sounds that creepy.
Okay.
But I would say Maggie's my favorite character. She's the most
Yes.
realistic. She's the most, like, speaks her mind. She cracks me up. She's like, "Please, you wanna see him naked. You wish you could
Yes.
have that." Like,
That's
she's,
a
like,
why
saying
I
what
was like, I
everyone's
love this
thinking.
girl
Yeah,
for
I love
sure.
her. I like Abel too. I feel like he's gonna be
I
awesome. Her
love
sister
Abel.
annoys me.
Yeah,
I'm
she's
like, "Open
annoying
up
and
more."
she's like
Like,
stuck
she's
up.
just yeah, and I feel like she's going through shit, and I'm wondering if, like,
There's
maybe
more
she's, like,
layers.
accumulated debt because of her sister, like, there's something going on there that's stressing her
Yes,
out,
there
yeah.
is definitely something going on. I love Abel as well, and I'm like, oh, I wish that's who it was. But we are learning too that like Cassidy, I feel like that is just so crazy, and it just goes to show what an amazing guy Abel is. That he was, Cassidy and Abel had feelings for each other, and they were strong. And I feel like this could have been like her love, and like even Hattie knows it and she learns that Abel like just never made that move out of respect for Ryland, which is like so beautiful, but also so tragic when she's like, I think her sister was telling her, Aubrey was like, I think that's why he, tried to, or Hattie was coming to the conclusion when Aubrey was talking to her that like he was maybe trying so hard during her treatments to like
To save her,
help her
mhm.
say like help her be saved like because of how much he cared about her on a deep level. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is tragic.
But here's my thing with that. That part kind of threw me off because when he was talking to Hayes, he's like, "Oh, you didn't settle down yet? Like there's no girl in your life?" And then he was like who would be the girl in my life? And then he's like, "What's wrong with Aubrey?" And I thought that was weird to say if Hayes knew that he liked Cassidy. Like why would you like sister hop? So I was just like I don't know if I believe her sister was saying that. Because I
I
think I
don't
think she would have
think
told her
anybody
too.
knew. Like he probably hid it because of the situation. Like he wasn't
But
going to
why wouldn't
cross that
Cassidy
line.
tell her sister? Why would she tell Aubrey instead of that's what I thought was weird. I said they were so close. So
Well,
now
I
I'm
think
wondering were they
that's what
even that
she
close?
felt that way about too.
Mhm.
Like she herself, like there's something missing here why they weren't like all confiding in her.
Yeah, they're as a family, I feel like it's a little they're not as close as they should be. They should be a little more be able to be honest, open. Like it's not a
Yeah.
family I would idol because they all are going through the same stuff. They should be coming together, not apart.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're coming apart.
Yeah, for
So it's
sure.
sad. So I'm actually excited to see because I feel like the book got such good reviews that I'm expecting to like the more I read, the more excited I get, the more we unfold. So I still have high hopes, even though I'm not a traditional lovey book smut girl. I usually like crime and sci-fi, but it's good so far. I like it. I like that it's very adultish too. And I like their age gap. What do you think about that? They're like 10, 12 years apart in age. And then Maggie was saying on the phone, she's like, "Oh, I think that's hot. Like,
Yeah.
don't you want someone experienced?" So
Yeah.
I was just, they're a little like going back and forth. And I agree. I mean, not that me and my partner, but I think that's a cool like layer to kind of because I feel like a lot of people don't talk about dating and the age gaps in books.
Yeah.
So that
No, I
was
think that's
interesting because it's
cool.
common.
I
Hmm.
really like that. I like that we're starting to see the moments I really like in their dynamic are like where you're starting to see their vulnerabilities, like the pickles. When she goes to the market and she goes and she gets these snacks and she picks up a jar of pickles and like he doesn't know that when she drops them, it's like something that she shared with her sister that she loved and just like replaced them for her. And the fact that he went and like bought all different brands because he didn't know which ones. I was like, that's a really very sweet. Like,
Hmm.
there's obviously some miscommunication that like everyone thinks there's this big hate. I hope I don't roll my eyes at what the reason was, but like
It
it
better be
was
good.
a touching gesture for sure.
Yeah. And even the beach scene was super, that was a good time for them to get close.
It's like, what were the odds? Of course, they go to the same pizza place. They're like in this small town.
I
Like, it's all
saw
going to
it. I saw
unfold.
it happening.
It's
When
all
she
gonna
asked her
roll.
sister to lunch, I mean, when she asked her sister to dinner, I was like, they're gonna go to the pizza place.
I
And then
know.
when he made a comment about like wanting to go to the beach tomorrow, like the next day, I was like, when she said she was gonna go to the beach, I said he's gonna already be there because he already thought about going to the beach.
I'm
I
dead.
see
I
the
know.
foreshadowing.
I know. And I knew when they started talking about going to eat, I was like, that's it. They're gonna be at the same place. Like, but
Yep. And
I
I love how
thought
Abel was like not hiding anything. He